Hey, welcome to Tom Trips Out. I'm in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh, and we're walking now through my neighborhood, trying not to get run over. And I'm from Canada. I'm from Toronto in Canada, and I've lived here for 3 years. And I've been doing this channel to show what your life could be like if you move here, and offering advice and guidance on how to become a teacher over here and teach English. Follow in my footsteps, and there's links below in the description. There's links below on how to get started. So the best way, which is the way I did it, is I joined a very strong TEFL course, which is the certification you need to be a teacher here. There's many out there. Some people just do it online for a couple dollars and get a bogus one, and it's terrible. It's not legitimate. The one I'm talking about is government accredited, and they line you up with a job afterwards coming out of the program. Cock-a-doodle-doo! It's very early. It's like just before 8 a.m. in the morning. And if you're just swiping by, I also have proper videos on my channel. Right now, this is a live stream on my phone, but I make real videos with a camera, and I have proper topics and edited and music behind. So go subscribe and check out the rest of my channel. Morning, Mary. Then I do these live streams just as something different and to connect with you guys, and you can talk to me in real time. And I thought today's topic would be about, hey, if you're sick, if you if you're upset with the decision about Donald Trump becoming the president, you could start making your plan to get out of there and move to Cambodia. I know people's opinions about him are very divided, but you could, I'm sure if you love Donald Trump, there's something else that you hate about America, right? So just focus on, hold on to that, and then that's your reason to move here. Maybe if you love Trump, maybe you hate the woke liberals, and you just want to get away from them. Then come to Cambodia. It's a really easy life. So I thought, we would walk around and see what we see, and Coconut Man. You could ask me stuff in the chat, but I'm heading towards a cat cafe called Ministry of Cat. And I think on Thursdays they do coffee for only $1, and it would usually be more. It's like a fancy cafe with cats inside and stuff. So it's today's Thursday, so it should only be a $1 coffee. And it happens to be very close to the Russian market, so if there's, and I think there will be time. If there's lots of time, then we can check out the cat cafe, grab a coffee, and then go have a stroll through Russian market and see what's hustling and bustling there. Let's keep going. Morning, Jared. The hardest part over here is crossing the streets sometimes, because there's no rules to their traffic, so imagine what it would look like if everybody had a green light at once. That's what we have here. And there's no sides of the road. Like, look at this guy. So I'm about to step out to cross the road, and if I'm only looking towards oncoming, I could get run over from behind me because people drive into oncoming. Here's another one. So you have to look both ways no matter what. Okay. And you just got to go for it sometimes. It's like liquid, they just drive around you. Oh, here we go, it's empty, an empty patch. We're actually lucky. I thought it would be more empty out here. And hey, if you like stuff about Cambodia, I also have a members section where there's extra content that I make on YouTube here. And I've called it the Tom Trips Out Army. So you could go, there's a link below for that. There's a members section with like 120 videos sitting there of stuff I'm eating or behind the scenes or different stuff like that. It's only $4.99, and what I tell people is if you wanted to help me out or help donate to the channel, you could just do the membership just for 1 month, and then you actually get something out of it. You get access to all that content. And you could like sign up and then quit, so you only have to pay for 1 month, and then that really would help me out. Shane, hey Tom, do you still plan to stay there forever? Yeah, I guess so. I don't have any other plan. My next like long-term goal, not long-term, I mean like long-term as in within like a year or 2 years, is I want to have a second place I'm renting in Cambodia, but do it in Cambodia. When I went there over Christmas, I had this feeling like, oh my God, I want to move here. But there's some negative sides to leaving Phnom Penh, you know what I mean? But I really loved Cambodia, so I want to have both. I want to have an apartment in the city and have in Canada we call it a cottage. But in the UK, that they don't think of a cottage as the same thing. I don't know where you're watching from, but in Canada, when we say, oh yeah, we're going to go to the cottage this weekend, that's different than what a UK person thinks of, like a little stone house in the countryside. In Canada, we mean like a vacation home on a lake, and you have a dock going into the water, and like a cabin. Like a cabin in the woods on a lake. That's what we call a cottage. And in the summer, it's popular in Canada. We go there on the weekends, or you know someone who has a cottage. Not everyone has one, but you could go rent a cottage. So anyways, I want like a second, or what else could you call it? A summer home. I want like and places out there are way cheaper. You could have your own little small house with a yard for like $150 a month or $200 a month would be a nice one. So the way I'm going to prepare for that, I think, is just start saving up. And you could even do 6-month leases. So if I can save up like $1,200, then I could have a second place for 6 months. You know what I mean? Just sign a 6-month lease and see how I like it. And then every weekend I could go to Cambodia and I would have my own place there and everything. So yeah, I'm not leaving anytime soon, but when you say forever, you're forcing me to plan like way in the future, and I don't think about my life in the future. I live now. I live in the moment now. And I'm planning maybe 6 months ahead, 1 year from now. Like I don't think beyond that. This is the Russian market behind me, and it's like Deadsville. I wonder why. If you watch my other videos, like along here is where I got that the pork I like. And there's usually a whole bunch of cars in the way here, and you know, it looks like there's not much set up, and there's less. Maybe the Russian market's not. What is it? It's Thursday morning. Even looking here. It's 8 a.m. like on the dot now, so maybe they don't open till 9, all the Russian market, but I wanted a coffee anyway. We're going to the Cat Cafe first. We're almost there. We got to cross here and go down this street. I like memorize a map before I leave. And now that I've lived here, I kind of know I'm like, oh yeah, it's down the street from that thing, but so we got to cross here. Let's just go for it. You're signaling, stupid idiot. Some of them are signaling and then they don't turn. Like their signal's left on, I guess. So I check if it's clear and I see, oh, all right, good. That person's going to turn, so I can start walking. And then they accelerate instead. But yeah, I don't take a chance on like big cars coming in the way. But when there's just someone on a motorbike, it's not that scary. Like you could probably just pivot. You could like pivot your body and avoid getting hit. Like it's not. And they're not going that fast, and also they just pinch their brakes with their hands, so like it's a lot different than a big SUV about to hit you than someone on a little moto. Like you could probably just put your hands on the front of their moto and jump a little bit and be like whoa, like you wouldn't be run over. The same as like an Escalade or something, or this. So it's supposed to be the second right and then the second left, but I haven't even seen one right yet. Charlie's going for a bike ride soon in Siem Reap. Charlie says we plan as long as our visa length is. Yeah, I renew every year. Charlie, I had to stop fast a few times yesterday. Yeah. Things or people pop out in front of you or stop suddenly. You gotta be able to brake on the spot. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, go subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and then consider also becoming a member. It's $4.99. We're growing the memberships now. You can see sneak peeks and behind the scenes and extra content. And it's the best way to donate to me because you get something out of the donation instead of if you just send a super thanks in the chat, which is available. If you just do that, then you don't get anything from it, so it's better to become a member for 1 month. So we're going to the Cat Cafe. It's called Ministry of Cat. That should be the next right, I think. Yeah. Oh well, if we get lost, that's an adventure too. Just stop there, that's great. And at this cat cafe we're going to on Thursdays, the coffee is only $1. Which in my opinion is a normal price anyway, but when you go into a nice cafe, it's more, usually a bit more, like $2.50 or $3. And especially when it's a novelty like a cat cafe. But any normal coffee shop, it should be $1 or $1.25. So really, it's just a normal price now. I'm wondering if that was the street. Yeah. Give me one sec. No, we're still going the right way. I was right. This looks like a nice apartment right here. Gray on. It's a really good neighborhood and they have security and it looks not too big, and it looks like behind here is their pool probably. I bet you there's a, if not a pool, like a nice garden to sit in, communal thing. So we gotta go right and it's the second left and then a cat cafe. It's a good time now to look into becoming a teacher. This is the time of year when I did it 3 years ago. I did my TEFL course in February. So we're like 1 week away from when I did it. And if you go to my channel, I just posted a video yesterday where we went to Silk Island. It was really cool. They actually have a place where you could see where they're making silk off the silkworms, and then there's a beach with all these huts. It's very local and not developed, so there's all these local people around trying to sell you their homemade food. And our driver was telling us about what happened to him in the Khmer Rouge, and it was like really interesting, so you could watch that video. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to get to. And in that video, I went to Silk Island with a few of my friends. And there's two of the guys that I was with, there's two guys. They were in my TEFL class 3 years ago. And we're still friends and we're still teachers here. So that shows that it works, you know, our lives are working. This channel says, hey Tim, just found your channel. Been unemployed for about a year now. I've got a TESOL but no degree. Probably going to come to Phnom Penh in March. Any recommendations for networking there? Yeah. Yeah, it's Tom. Tom the Toolman Taylor. Yo, where are we going? Yes, I do have a recommendation. So I was telling you guys about, if you want to become a teacher, I've links below to the course that I took that you know, got me certified, and they got me the job, and they're in the country here, and they're also in Vietnam. If you have a degree, you can do Vietnam. Anyways, this channel, they have separate programs for people that already have a TEFL, like yourself. So when I bring up the TEFL school, you might dismiss it like, blah, whatever, I already have a TEFL. But they don't only have TEFL programs, they have also jobs programs for in the country. And that's Ho Chi Minh or Phnom Penh. And you have to show them like what TEFL you have, as long as it's legitimate and not just like a $2 one online or something. It has to be a recognized one. Then then you can skip like the TEFL part, and they just do a 9-day like lesson planning workshop with how they like it here in Asia. And then they send you to schools where you observe the teachers teaching a real class, and then you go back again and you take over the class as practice, and the teacher watches you. So you can get some real practice before you actually get a job. So then in the interviews, you can talk about the experiences you had. And that's basically what the jobs program is like. It's 9 days. And the link is below, so you would click on that link, and on the website, there's all the different programs, and you would look for teaching jobs abroad. Teaching jobs abroad program. And as long as your TEFL that you have is legitimate, then you would come here. And also accommodation is included in those 9 days. So they give you a place to stay for the 9 days, lesson planning workshop, you get some practice, and then they find you your first job. So it takes all the worry out about how you're gonna find a job, like how are you gonna find your first job. Then usually once you've had one job, you get a feel for how it works over here, and you've met some people, and you can do your own networking after that. It's just like the first job. It helps if someone helps you. Like, Pakalat, glad you stuck to your word and left. What do you mean by that? The job I had, or? Let me just check my map again here. We walked too far. Yeah, so I worked I'll tell you my story. I got a job right out of AVSE. That's the name of that program, AVSE. At an international school, and I was teaching grade 8, so they're like 13 years old. And so that's the other thing. It's not always little baby kids like in kindergarten. I had like teenagers making fart jokes and stuff. Like, so it was actually fun. I prefer that to little kids. I like when I can talk like an adult to them. They're like little young adults. And I did that for like a year and a half, but I was doing this YouTube channel at the same time, and I grew it big enough where I was able to stop. I don't need to work full time anymore. Now I just do private tutoring, and I work maybe like 8, what would it be? Like 10 hours a week. That's all I only work, is 10 hours a week. Jesus Christ. This guy almost ran me over. What I said just happened. He pinched his brakes and I put my hand out. That was his fault for sure. I'm not rushing at all. I'm walking normal steps. He almost ran me over. Yes, and I quit that job because my main important thing to me in life is freedom. And so I don't want to be worked over, and like when you have a work-life balance, they call that, I want my life one to be way more prioritized than the work one. Back in Canada, I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car for 12 years, and that would be like 55, 60 hours a week. Really pounding you into the ground with hours. And I did it for 12 years. And it's just like soul crushing. And so when I lost that job after COVID, it was like turning a new leaf in life. And it was like, I am never allowing that to take over my life again. And that's my driving force that when it's tough or it's hard, I keep pushing through. Like, you don't want to work a million hours again, like back in, and I hang on to that dream like that. Greetings from South Africa. This channel, never taught before, so that sounds like a decent deal, especially lesson planning. No clue where to start there. Also, any recommendations on finding an apartment that's legitimate? Don't want a scam. Well, no matter where you look, the scammers could be there. Like, they might be there, but places I look is Facebook Marketplace, and there's a website called Cambodia 24. It's always, anytime I want to say anything, then a big motor comes by. So the website's KHMER24, Khmer 24. They also have an app, which is easier to, if you're using your cell phone, then the app is better to, it'll look better on your screen. Like, it's basically like online classifieds, and there's a whole section on Cambodia 24 for apartments. And you could filter by neighborhoods in the city and stuff, and price, and what it is, it's all the real estate reps they're the ones putting the listings up. So when you see one you like, you message them like, hey, I'm interested in this one, can I come look at it? And then they'll get you on Telegram or on a messaging app from there, and they'll say sure, like, and they'll send you links to like 5 more apartments that are similar to that apartment that you liked. And they'll say, okay, how about Friday at like 1 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll go take a look at these 5 or 6. Like, they'll show you a bunch in the same, everything that matches your things that you need, like this neighborhood, and I need 1 bedroom, and I need a balcony, and that once you get hooked up with a rep, they know the ones that are available out there, and they'll take you around to them, and then when you like one, you literally just pay the first and last, and you're in. You don't have to show proof of income. You don't have to show references or anything, and you don't have to wait till the 1st of the month. You can move in that day. Like, yeah, Cambodia 24. You have to navigate over, their website does many things, so you have to find like real estate, and then renting, and then apartments for rent. You know, you got to navigate your way to the right part of the website, and then oh man, I've been talking so much. We might not go to the cat cafe. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I keep blabbing, and we walked right by where the cat cafe was, but forget that. I'll do that next week, or maybe I'll make a real video there. So here's where you can get the sugarcane drinks and stuff. Got some rice and food over there. Howdy, Seth. He's saying, bring out your cardboard and recycling, I'm here. Wee-oo, 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 wee-oo. And yeah, so if you were devastated by the American election and you want to get the hell out of there, consider Cambodia. And AVSE could be your ticket into how are you going to support yourself and live here. And if you go for any of those programs I told you about, there's a spot to mention where you heard of it from. And that basically keeps me alive. That's That's a part of my income here is helping others and advising others, referring other people to come through the course. And it really can make a difference for me. So, and it's really free and easy to do. You just put Tom in there. John Paul, hey Tom, have you met Patrick from Cambo Vlogs yet? He seems like a good guy. No, I haven't met him. I know what you mean. I've seen that channel. It's a really big channel, and I think that guy grew up here, but he's a white guy. And I think he has a Khmer girlfriend and like 2 kids here too. And he speaks Khmer perfectly because he grew up here. Well, maybe we'll see a party here. It's Chinese New Year right now. That's what that is. That's Chinese. That was Chinese decorations and Chinese stuff. There's all these celebrations going on for Chinese New Year. John Paul, thanks. He says, congrats on I hit 15,000 like 5-6 days ago. Hey, but if you look, I'm like 2 days away from hitting 16 now. I think by Saturday morning, I'll be at 16,000. We might catch these monks. They do like a singing monotone chant. They stopped there, but then they moved on. They'll stop in front of businesses, and like the business owner comes and gives them an offering or gives them money or something. And then they stand there and all in unison, they do like a, like for like a long time. And it's really interesting when you see it in front of you. They looked like they were about to do it, and then they kept going. They kept moving. I'm not making fun of them, by the way, when I do that impression. We're a little bit, I don't know exactly where I am, but I know what direction we're going in. I do know, it's like I half know where we are. I just don't know specifically where we are. So my band's got a gig on Valentine's Day coming up at Hometown Hangout. So that'll be cool. It's almost February. I've got a few referrals in this month's class for AVSE, the program I was telling you about. I never know until the course actually starts, because sometimes people register, but then they never actually fly here, and they ghost, and they bail, and they don't actually come. But so I think I had 3 coming in February, and 1 guy's already here. So he's for sure. Mike, he's been the one writing in the live streams. Oh, 20 more days till I get on a plane. Oh, 19 more days. And now it's finally counted down to he's here now. Maybe in the next live stream he'll be in it. And then there's supposed to be at least 2 others, and maybe even 1 more. So once they're all here, and it's maybe after they settle in for a week or something, like their first or second weekend here, I could meet up with those 3 or 4 people and be like, live stream, we're all here, like together. Wow, Mary. That's awesome. Thank you. I've never seen this before. So Mary, let me flip away from my face. Mary just bought 5 memberships to my Tom Trips Out, and she gifted them to other people in the chat room right now. So John, Rin, Jared, Elliot, and Shannon, Mary bought you a membership to my thing, so now you're automatically a Tom Trips Out member. I'm assuming it for 1 month, and so if you go to my members section, look for live streams, because I mostly go always live for that, and there should be more than 120 there. Extra videos that only you can see, and Mary bought it for you. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, and it costs $4.99, so that's about $25 value. Thank you, Mary. Not that I don't judge my thank you off the amount. If you give me $1, I love you still. But that's very generous, Mary. Thank you. I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to sound like asking for money too much, but on YouTube, you have to reach 100 for them to even send it to you. Otherwise, you have to wait a whole nother month, and then it will carry over. Like, you know what I mean? And then they'll send you 2 months at once later. But I would like the money now, and we're on the last day of the month now, pretty much, right? It's the 29th or 30th now. And I'm not quite there. I'm at like $95. And I didn't want to come on and start whining for money, but Mary, this right now just made the difference of, right? Like now I'm gonna be 120 or something because you just gave me 25. So you got me over the threshold, so I'll get the money now, and I won't have to wait an extra month and a half for YouTube to send it to me. So thank you for pushing me over the line so I can get that money now. Yeah. And that's really great too, because now 5 people get to try out being a member. And I guess if you like it, they could carry on themselves, right? Where the heck are we? I know where we are. I know where we are. I know exactly where we are. Hello. Oh, no, thanks. He was like, tuk tuk sa. This is that grocery store. Remember, I go in there and then my phone stops working in there? That's the one. I knew that I was pretty much on track. I was basically 1 block down a little bit, that's all. So we got to cross here. This street would be good to live on. You have Lucky's right here, grocery store. And then that orange over there, that's another giant grocery store. That orange right in the middle here. It's called Angkor Mart. So you have 2 big grocery stores. There's a Pizza Hut. You're even closer to the Russian market. There's a Starbucks right here, it looks like. Nice big trees and quiet. Oh no, it's not Starbucks, but it's a coffee shop. So I guess you could live here, Queen Mansion. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I have apartment videos, lots. I have videos on every apartment I've had, but then also when I go look for apartments and I was viewing them, I made a couple videos where I would show like 5 different apartments in one video because the person was showing me 5 of them, so I videoed all of them, right? And those seem to do well. There's a demographic of people out there that really enjoy or are interested in like apartment videos. I've got them. I think there's one that I have that's the most popular. It's called 5 apartment video, like 5 apartments. It's something like that, because in the one video I show 5 apartments and the prices, but I've made several like that. And there's a playlist called apartment videos, and that just shows, I've had like 4 apartments here, so it'll show you the 4 different ones that I've lived in. My first apartment here was 140 a month. 140. So just picture that. And meals are like $2, $3 here. So it's, if you're sick of living in America or wherever you're from, then, and you want a easy, low cost of living lifestyle and permanent summer, consider becoming a teacher in Cambodia, man. And that could just be your starting point. Do that for a few years, and a lot of people, sometimes they'll start their own businesses or start their own bar, or maybe a guest house, or a lesson center for whatever skill they have, like an art school or a dance school or something. Like, I'm a musician. I also play in about 3 bands here. Sometimes I can make like $250 a month from just all the gigs. You need a lot of gigs, so, but it's like some months we only have 1 or 2 gigs. But if you have like 4 or 5 gigs, you're talking like $250 or $300 just from going and playing bass, and I play bass, and then you get free beer, and it's like a party. Like, so once you get over here, you could figure out other ways to make money, or extra ways to make extra money, right? This channel. Parts of Florida received 10 inches of snow last week. Permanent summer. It's done in Florida. 10 inches, that's a lot. That's almost a foot. Well, in Canada, we don't use inches, but I know what you mean. It's like 25 centimeters. So this is my building right here. We're back home, but we don't have to stop now. That's my building, this white one here. I'm really hungry. We could go grab food somewhere. Yeah, let's go up this street and see what's open. Maybe we'll see a street food cart. Yeah, and I usually have a student in the morning online, and they, they called in sick. They texted in. They're adults, right? So they just send me a text and Telegram being like, I'm not, you go, teacher, can I have leave today? I just put a thumbs up. Oh, they're doing some construction on this Turkish restaurant here. Actually, this on the corner is a very local Khmer. The kind of place where there's no English. They probably don't even speak English. Or it's like they don't speak English, but they have like one daughter or son working there, and who's young, and they speak a little bit. That'll be plan B, because I don't mean to diss Cambodia, but that food is so, from that place, it'll just be like some steamed rice with nothing on it, and then a little bit of pork sitting beside it, which is fine. I want to see if we can do better. What's this lady got? That's when it would be good to learn a little Khmer. That was one of my New Year resolutions. If I could just say to her, like, in Khmer, hey, what you got there? This person's getting it. Yo, maybe I could go watch, and if it looks good, I'll say, give one for me. Bean sprouts and herbs. Sorry. What happened was one of these restaurants I've been to with the Wi-Fi, and my phone picked up, it switched off of my data and tried to join one of these Wi-Fis, and it messed it up. I think I don't want that. It's too much. The vegetables and stuff, I don't like a lot of them. The herbs and it's this thing called Morning Glory. They're like these green, like tubes, vegetables. But that would be like $1 from her. A bowl of noodles and bean sprouts and herbs and stuff like that. Should we dare go down this alley? Let me just switch into sport mode first. Okay. I guess it's not that not that cool. It's very clean in here. There must be someone who lives here that sweeps it out. It's windy and kind of cool. I bet you it's like 25 degrees. Hey, I'm in a live stream.
Live streaming?
Yeah,
Hey.
that's my sax player. Yeah, I'll see you tonight maybe at jam night. That guy in my band, we just added in a sax player. That's him. You bump into people you know. He's cool. He's kind of like much older than all of us, but his personality is right at the same age as us. Just now, hey, what's up, dude? Like, it's great to add in a sax. Can you imagine? You know, in the middle of a song, and you turn to the lead guitar guy, and you're like, okay, take it away, Dave, or whatever. You know what I mean? And they go into a solo. Now imagine instead there's like a sax guy there, and you're like, take it away, Jeff. Wow! And it's like really something different. You know, something really cool. And the people at the show watching, and it's like, you know, it's just 2-3 feet in front of them, a sax like wailing. So it's an awesome addition. It's a little bit of a headache at band practice, like we're working it all out of the part, working the parts out and fitting them in and stuff. I don't even know what food I want. This place has food, I know. I've been in there though, and it's really quiet inside. So if I go in there, I'll be Mr. Big Mouth, like talking to you guys. I guess we could go to the deck. Yeah, let's go to the deck. The deck is like a bar right by my house, and they have live music there, but not in the morning now, but they do live music. What's good about them is they support live music, and especially artists. Like they do once a month they do a night where songwriters can play only originals. It's called the Originals Night, so there's no covers allowed. So you can go watch, you know, artists in the city here that are making their own material. And I'm a songwriter on the side, even though I'm a I'm a bassist. I do also acoustic guitar, like songwriting. I don't do too much of it anymore, but throughout my life, when I was younger, I wrote like 100 songs, like so many songs. And I recorded most of them too. They're all recorded, just home recordings. But like, so if I'm gonna play one of those nights coming up, maybe next month or the month after, because I bet you I could do an hour and a half. I could play for an hour and a half of my own songs at any moment, like without any practice. That's what's so weird too. I never forget my own lyrics. Like I just know them. It's like one lyric reminds me what the next one is, and on and on and on and on like that. So as long as I know the first words, then I can remember the whole song. This channel, since you're a Canadian, I have to ask, have you heard of the band Men I Trust from Quebec? No, I haven't, but I've been out of there for over 3 years now, so I don't. Mary says, I missed something. What happened to Cat Cafe in Russian Market? I kept missing the street for Cat Cafe, and then I had walked so far that I'd already turned back 2 times to go back to it, and I threw out the Cat Cafe idea. I thought maybe I'll go next Thursday and make a whole 10-minute video out of it, and not just part of a live. And Russian Market, they weren't really open yet. It looked like everything was still closed down and stuff. Here's the deck. Hey. Yeah, check it out, Mary. That looks good. Double bacon egg roll. Or you can get the big deck feast. I think I just want this. Hang on, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Can I have the double, hang on. Double bacon egg roll?
You want a fried egg or cooked egg?
Fried egg. Can I have an iced coffee? Do you have it? Yeah.
Want sugar?
Yes.
Ice latte or ice americano?
Iced Americano. Yeah. Yeah, and they have specials here for dinner during the week. You can see here from 6 p.m. till 8. Monday, piri piri chicken and chips, or fish and chips. It's only $4. Tuesday, TNT. That means something. I think that's like trivia night. Tuesday night trivia. I think that's what that means. So they do like a trivia night on Tuesdays where you can come here and you join. There's like different teams, I guess. Like you get in little groups and then they ask trivia questions and you try to win. And during that they have $1 off munchies, I guess. And Wednesdays is pastas on sale. Eggplant parm. And Thursdays burgers. Fridays classic meals, schnitzel or chicken parm. Oh, that's good, chicken parm. That's tomorrow from 6 till 8. So I should get the free beer from 6 till 7 and then at Tin Hat, and then come here at 7 and get a chicken parm. That's what I'll do tomorrow maybe. So I have like 5 beers for free and then come here and have a chicken parm for $4. Yeah, and the viewer we had, Mike, that was putting in the chat like 10 more days till I come and 9 more days till I fly there. He's finally here now, and I haven't met him yet. And he messaged me yesterday saying, like, when are you back in the city? I think he thinks I'm not in the city right now because my videos are showing different places and stuff. And I think maybe I'll be like, come out on Friday for the free beer tomorrow night. Or and then we could come here too, like free beer in here. Or tonight is the open mic, so I might tell him that too. But lately, no one's been going to the open mic, so we end up using it like our own band practice. Like we just play, and there's like a couple people watching, or whatever. But the open mics have been a little bit lighter. Not a lot of people. So do you guys have a topic you want me to talk about? Maybe teacher's salary. It's my first job I got as an international school. I was getting $1,300 a month US. And that was my very first job. I don't even have a degree or anything. Thanks. Looks good. It's like real coffee, it tastes like. Oh yeah, check it out. Ken Starr, are you upset about Trump winning? Well, I'm not even American, so and even if I was, I probably wouldn't care anyway. But. I don't feel strongly either way. But it's kind of it makes it less boring. I find like he's probably the most exciting president that they've had. You know, because you never know what he's going to do or what stupid shit he's going to say or something. So in a way, it's almost like when your TV show you're watching suddenly gets more interesting, or they introduce a new character that makes the show better. Like that's what it's kind of like. Now the news is going to be more interesting. This channel. Anything you wish you knew before you came over to Cambodia? No? There is things I didn't know, but it's not like you wish it wouldn't have changed anything. Certain things that suck is like PayPal doesn't really work here. Like it's not one of the countries, you know, when you're first signing up or you're choosing where you are. Cambodia is not, whatever, it messes, it's all a big headache if you try to do it in Cambodia, PayPal. And then when you're trying to teach online, or I do a lot of online things, or I'm using my YouTube to try to get money with other things, and like often what's easy is PayPal, and then you can't really use it here. So I had PayPal for a while, and I was just pretending I was in Canada. And then I got banned. In the end, I got banned from PayPal. It's a long story, but now I'm banned off PayPal. They froze my money for like 4 or 5 months, and I got it back. I finally got it out. But still, if someone told me that, it just would have been nice to know. I still would have came here, but I would have been more careful with how I did PayPal, I guess. The other one is TikTok. TikTok, you can't go live in Cambodia. Like you can't do things that earn money if it's showing that you're in Cambodia. Like it knows where you are, kind of thing. so I have to choose. I've had that thought, like I could try to like pay and subscribe for a VPN and pretend, you know, then it'll look like I'm in another country, and then I could go live on TikTok and people could send me money on TikTok. But because I hear TikTok is way better for people for making money and sending donations. It's just in Cambodia it doesn't let you earn money from TikTok. Mary, have you met many subscribers from your channel? Well, it depends what you mean by many, but it's getting to be more and more and more. Like just last weekend, I went to this soiree. I can't even say it. Thanks. I went to a soiree at the French embassy. So it's like a really fancy like nighttime party, and it was a fundraiser, and it was like $30 to get in, but it was free food and free alcohol and everything. But all the money goes to charity, and so I went to that. And 2 people there recognized me, and these are all people from France. They come up, "Oh, I like your channel, and I want to say you are doing a good job with your YouTube." And these French people. And one time I went to a boxing match at this place called Factory, and it's like real boxing where you have to buy a ticket to get in, and it's in a boxing ring, and there's a referee, and it's real. It's all the small fight clubs around. They have tournaments and work their way up to like a finals, and then they have a big night where it's the finals, and you can buy a ticket to go to it. So I was there, and again, 2 people recognized me there, and so it's happening sometimes. I also think that it happens where people don't come up to me and say anything, because sometimes I could just be paranoid or whatever, or I'm all in my head, but I notice people looking at me, or I can feel like they recognize me, but they're just, not everyone's the type of person that's gonna like get up from their table and come over and interrupt me and then say something to me, like say, just eating their own dinner, I feel like I could feel them looking at me, and so then I start looking at them, I start observing them, and you could see them, they're like hitting their friend, "Hey, God, this," or that's what I feel like they're doing, you know, "Look, that's the guy," you know, and they're tapping their friend, or that. And then the next time I look, they're in their phones. It's like they're trying to find a picture or they're trying to like double cross-reference off one of my videos and see, does that my face look like the same guy in the video? So there's no way that I'll know if that's actually true that that's happening, but sometimes I feel like people across the room are noticing me, and they say to their friend, "That's that guy." You know, it's not that big of a deal where they have to come up and say something, but usually if it's a place where there's alcohol, then the people are less inhibited, and they come up and they're like, and their friends are around, and they're like, to their friends, they're like, "This is the guy. This is the reason why I'm here. This is his videos is the reason why I moved here," and like stuff like that. I've had that before. This channel, "I'll buy you a beer or coffee in appreciation for your helpfulness when I make it out there." Nice. Yeah, you can come to one of my band's gigs or something, and then it's fun, and there's beers around, and whoa, look at that. Awesome. Then you can tip it in after. I chose this especially because the bun looked good in the picture, and it is good. I like a big soft roll, big soft bread roll. Looks like there's 2 eggs on here. I can't tell. I think it's just one big egg. Yeah. It's just one egg, but it's big. My verdict is it's a really good sandwich. Very good, but a crispy piece of lettuce would be good in here, and maybe a really thin piece of tomato. I like a little bit of tomato, not like too much. And then with a knife, like put a little bit of mayo on one of the breads, but not thick, just like a thin layer, and then that would improve it. thin layer of mayo, thin tomato, and a crispy piece of lettuce. Because my opinion too, the sandwich is $4. It's really, you know, could be $3. I guess it's the bacon. I bet you I haven't got a bite of bacon yet. The bacon's probably expensive, that's why. This channel. Last question, I swear. No, please write more stuff because it gives me something. But at this time in the live stream, it's been over an hour and I've kind of run out of things off the top of my head to talk about. So it really helps actually if you write things in the chat. Last question. Have you heard of the YouTube channel No Joke Howard? He was the reason I pursued getting a TESOL, but then COVID happened. Yeah, I did. Because I moved here 3 years ago, so it was the year before that. All that year I was looking into coming here on YouTube and all that stuff. And he was one of the channels I would watch too. He's kind of really blunt and a little bit funny, and he would ask people to email in, and then he would sit in his room and videotape himself. Looks just like this right now. And he would read people's questions from that they emailed in, and he would answer them, but he'd be a little bit blunt. He's a little bit like Bill Burr, like he swears a little bit, and he's like, yeah, go F yourself, or like, you should, if that's what you think, you should, blah, blah, blah. And like, but it was a good channel. He's like, doesn't sugarcoat anything, you know what I mean? Tells you the real deal answer all the time. And he had a good following back then, and I think that's what people liked. He just didn't sugarcoat or fake anything. He would just be really, really extra blunt. Yeah, I was just going to get to that. I did know that. So this channel says, not sure if you're aware, but he unfortunately passed away. Yeah, I did. I heard about that. And I think that happened like right as I moved here. I think that might have happened like 3 years ago. I did a big YouTuber meetup in Siem Reap like 6 months ago or 8 months ago, and I was For Real. Oh no, For Real was on vacation, so they weren't there, but I've met them like 2 or 3 other times. But Dave does Cambodia, Fuzzy Logic. There's this one Steve in Cambodia Abroad or something. Mahoney Travels. Autumn in Asia. There was like 6 or 7 of us, and they were mostly all Siem Reap YouTubers, but then I was visiting Siem Reap, so we had a YouTuber meetup. So I've met a bunch of them. There's still a bunch. I know of a few that I haven't met. I've also met Itchy Feet. I think that's it. There's a channel that's good. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if she does YouTube, but she does a lot on TikTok and Instagram. And I'm going to get the name wrong. I think it's Abigail or Abby Travels or Abigail Travels. And I forget where she's from. It sounds like her accent sounds like she's from like Trinidad or Tobago or something like that. And I'm sorry if it's you and you're watching this right now, I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. But anyways, her channel's really, she always does interesting, cool, like fun, positive stuff that's really cool. Like she went to a circus and like she went in Cambodia and showed that, and like whatever. There's many wide variety of stuff on her channel. I've not met her yet. It's cool because of her accent. You see like a perspective of someone from whatever country she's from, like experiencing Cambodia, and it's cool. shows those videos where you would be like the really short ones on TikTok where you say, in Cambodia, we don't say this, we do this. Like, you ever seen that kind of trend online? Shows a lot of those. So you kind of learn a little thing in every little video. So this channel is asking, do I have a recommendation for a bank here? Yeah, the main popular big one is it's 3 letters, ABA. See that? ABA. And when you have the app on your phone, you can just, you open the app and you scan this and you can, it's like paying debit. You just pay right out of your bank account. But there's more banks here, but I think that's the main big one, ABA. Usually when you get your first job here, there's a bunch of paperwork with your employer that they need to take care of. So they'll give you a letter of employment and they'll tell you where to go to, where they always send their teachers to get a work permit and the work visa. And then on top of that, they'll give you a letter that you can take to the bank, and that allows you to open an account. I think they need to see your apartment lease and they want to see your letter from the employer. And then you can open a bank account, and the bank gives you a letter saying, here's your bank account. And then you bring that back to the school and give it to your HR, and then from there they can do a direct deposit. So every time you get paid, it just goes straight into your bank account. And then when you're out anywhere, everything has this. Even a street food lady with a cart out there, she'll have one on a necklace, like one like this, or a sticker on her cart like that. So once you have a bank account, you can just, with your phone, on everything. Complications. I think you cannot be a tourist here, I think. Because they want to see your apartment lease. Oh yeah, and I think you have to show your passport too as part of ID, and in there they'll be able to see what visa you have, right? And then no matter what I say, there's always someone contradicting me. No, well, I had a friend that they were a tourist and they got a bank account. It's like, you never know if someone wiggled through or something. But I think the general rule is you need to be here long term, and you have to have proof of your lease, like your apartment lease, and then so you would come in there with your passport, your lease for your apartment, letter from your work, from your employer, right? And then that's pretty much all they need. Okay, and the letter from your work will be, so the bank knows who's going to be direct putting money in there. They open a payroll, they call it a payroll account. So they'll open a payroll account, and then that's it. Then you go back to your school and give them the letter. Here's what the bank gave me, and it's done so. And for the work permit and visa, you do it and pay for it, and then you give the receipts back to your school, and they'll usually cover, a big part of it. If you're lucky, all of it, but probably not all of it. I'd say you could expect them to cover like 2/3 of the total cost. If you put the cost of the work permit and the cost of the visa and put that together, and whatever that total is, like 2/3 of it, the school will pay for that probably, and then you have to cover the rest. Got a beef with Trump? Hardwired adventures. Now I'm in Cambodia. I'm just trying to think of catchy ways to get people's attention to consider moving here. And I know out there that's a hot topic right now. It's a new thing, and some people are very upset that he's the president, or maybe if you really like Trump, maybe a reason why you would want to leave America is because you're sick of all those woke liberals or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe the opposite. You'd get out of there and come to Cambodia and teach. Yeah. So Hardwire, you think he's awesome? Whatever. That's the point of my videos. Isn't about that. It's to help you find a reason to hang on to that would make you want to live in Cambodia instead. Yeah, there you go. You're moving to Cambodia soon. Good. You know what I mean, though, right? There's people that really dislike Trump a lot. There's people like that, right? So I just thought that would be, and there's a lot of people like that. Oh, Siem Reap. Yeah, cool. That's a bit more, it's like a nicer, I don't know if you've ever been here. It's like where I am in Phnom Penh, it's the big, busy, loud city, big city. And then Siem Reap's a bit more fresh air and not smaller town and vibe. And I was just there like 2-3 weeks ago, Siem Reap. I made 2 videos. I showed a temple you can go to for free that you don't even need a ticket, but it's just as old as Angkor Wat. But it's like this small temple site off to the side, and you can just go. You don't need any ticket. And I did a video there like 2-3 weeks ago. You can check in my videos. And then I also showed this restaurant bar that's South African. So they have all these different meats and drinks that you would have in South Africa bars. They had this bar called Ubuntu, and we went to there. They had a thing called Build a Basket, where you pick different meats and chicken wings and calamari and boerewurst or something. I don't know how to say it. These like sausage, South African sausage, all these different things, and you choose what quantities and whatever you want, and they put it in a basket, and South African barbecue. Oh, so you've been here 25 years ago, Hardwire. This channel. How about Sihanoukville? Any thought on the vibe there? Cost of living and teaching jobs similar to your knowledge? No, it's very bad and different there. So it's like a skeleton city that's pretty much dead. So just picture it like that. There are like 0 schools. So there's maybe 1 or 2, like 1. There's like, maybe there is, but you can just treat it like it's basically there's 0 schools there. And I went there recently too, about maybe 1 month ago, just for a day. I went and I tried to show every beach, because Sihanoukville is on the coast. Where I am now in Phnom Penh, we're not on the coast, so you have to drive like 2 hours, and then Sihanoukville is right on the ocean. So I showed like, Hardwired said Chinese Vegas, yeah, because there's all these, the Chinese came in and bought, like they tried to start making all these developments and buildings, and they're all going to be big, huge condo, tall buildings with casinos in the bottom and stuff. But then, and all these developments were happening all at the same time. So imagine they're building like 40 buildings all at the same time that are just look like construction sites, and it's not finished and all that. And right at that time, COVID hit. So then all the investors and the Chinese like pulled out of everything, but all those construction sites were just left. So there's like these skeleton buildings where it's just like a full condo building, but you can see right through it because it's just the concrete frame of like every floor and the walls, and then no outer walls. It's just like the concrete skeleton. So there's just concrete skeletons of all these projects that have been abandoned, and so it looks ugly in the city, but there's very nice beaches. So if you just go to the beach and look out towards the water, it's beautiful. But what I noticed too when I was there for the day, everything's so expensive. Unbelievable. I guess because maybe the type of people that go there are Chinese tourists, that they don't have an idea of what things are supposed to cost in Cambodia and how cheap it should be. So maybe they can maintain the same prices that those people would see in China. And so like I just went to a restaurant near the beach, and they were showing like one dish is like $15. It should be $2. Like it was just unbelievable difference, not $1 different, like 7 times more. Do they have a max age to teach? No. I would say maybe there is no number, but you know, when you're getting past like 75, then maybe you should think about stopping after that. But like people retire in their home country and then come here and and teach sometime, because they really like it. But the other thing to consider, Hardwired Adventures, if you are that old, like there's a retirement visa you can get here, but when you have that, you cannot work. But the cost of living here is so low that if you get a retirement pension or retirement whatever from your home country, often that's enough to live off of, and you don't even need to teach. My budget here for everything, so my total costs on everything, including going out, food, things I buy, everything, in a month, rent, all put together, total is about 800 in a month is what I spend every month. And if you were cheaper, I could, and that's me buying things, and I go out and I have certain things I like to do for recreation and stuff, and so you could probably get it down to 700 over here. Hardwired Adventures. I know I want to teach. I have a couple degrees. Yeah, well, you could get a good paying, higher paying job with a degree. You don't need a degree here. I don't have a degree, so you can be a teacher in Cambodia with no degree. I should have said that earlier in the video. But it'll help you get a higher salary. Like you can try to command a higher salary, and you'd be like, and based on what? And you'd be like, well, I have degrees, right? And that's very valid. The other thing you might want to consider, it sounds like you're set on Cambodia, but Vietnam. In Vietnam, you have to have a degree, so you would be more compensated for your accreditations if you went to Vietnam, because in Cambodia, you can ask for a little bit more because you have a degree, but you're not really optimizing what you could make if you choose Cambodia. Because in Vietnam, they value your degree more, or they're able to value it more. Like, they have more money available to give to people with degrees than they do here. Yeah. So you should expect, well, sometimes what you deserve is not what they're able to offer because the school is poor, you know? So it might be a low offer, not based on you, it's based on what they're able to do. Like, so that, but I think with that many degrees and you probably have experience and everything, you should be aiming for at least 1,400. But you could go, depending on the school, you could get more, like much more. Oh, you still need a TESOL. Yeah. Well, I have a link below to the one I took. It's government accredited, it's very legit, and then they have hands-on job support as you're coming out of the course, so they'll help line you up with your first job. Get you a bunch of job interviews until you land one. It's called AVSE, and they're accredited by the government. It's the one I took, and I put a link to their website there, and you can read all about, they have many different programs too, and little side ones, and they do Vietnam, they do Cambodia, and so if you decide that one of those is right for you, you can register on the website, and if there's a spot to write, where did you hear of this from? And you can just write Tom or Tom trips out, and then I get a referral kickback, and it really makes a big difference in my life. So if you're going to do it, then just remember to mention Tom, good old Tom. And if you're wondering, well, is this really legit? Is this guy just scamming me to make his commission or whatever? Do your own Google, like Google AVSE TESOL, and you can see people's reviews on Google, like real people that have done this course. I should know that off the top. I forget when this course started, but it's like a 20-year. They have like a 20-year reputation. Or it's not just like a fly-by-night thing. It's like, so if you do a Google up AVSE TESOL, and then you can find the thing and then look for the reviews, and I bet you they have 4.9 or. And there's a website out there called Trustpilot, and they rate different companies and companies' websites on if it's a scam or how legit it is. And so you can look up AVSE on Trustpilot and on Google and on Facebook. These are all places where people can leave reviews, and you can see what score they have, and that will help. Right? It'll help my credibility with what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It's real and legit. Yeah, it's almost been an hour and a half. I usually only do like up to an hour.
It's cool. The stage used to be back there.
But now they do it like against this wall. All right, I think I'm going to end it here. It's good talking to you guys. If you've not subscribed yet, just go to the normal subscribe. Go and subscribe to the channel. Mary, I don't know if you're still there, but thanks a lot. That was really nice of you for gifting 5 people a membership to my channel. I'm sure those people will really appreciate it, and I also really appreciate it. Go check out my rest of my playlists and videos. I have apartment videos. I have videos on how to find a job. I have there's some Cambodian islands that I've visited one time with my band, and we were like playing with our band on some of the resorts on the island, and we have to bring all our stuff on the boat and stuff. It's just all kinds of cool stuff. You could go explore my channel. Yeah. You're still there, Mary. Thanks again. And until next time, remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.